Hi, ladies. Welcome to High Heels and Destiny. Today we have LaToya Lee on board with us. I'm so glad to have you on. Say hey, girl. Introduce yourself.
Hey.
LaToya is a fashion lifestyle blogger.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm.
So I met her on Instagram and she do all different types of blogging when it comes to clothes, fashion. So if you're into fashion and clothes, you definitely want to follow her. LaToya, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Let them know your website, exactly all what you do. Kind of put it on out there.
Well, I'm LaToya, as she said, and I'm a blogger and content creator at Forever Love, LOVELEE.com. And I multifaceted. In my civilian capacity, I'm a case manager. In my military career, I'm a paralegal. I've been doing that for quite some time. And then I'm also a mom of a 19-year-old college student that I'm very proud of because it takes a lot to get a child to college. So that's like one of my biggest accomplishments so far in life is getting him to college. That is very rewarding. And to see him just blossom into his own person, it's been very rewarding. So that's pretty much about me.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for being a part of High Heels and Destiny. When I originally saw her, you guys, she's so good when it comes to fashion. So I wanted to bring her on and talk about modesty and dressing, but we kind of twisted up, but we're gonna touch bases on that. She's gonna come in and share her story as being a teen mother and her whole journey to into the point that she's at now. So we're gonna jump right into it, LaToya. So, I feel like your story can inspire other single mothers because most single moms feel like when they have a kid at a young age, you was 17, correct, when you had your son?
Yes.
Okay. So most mother feels like, when they have a kid at a young age that their whole life is ended. But I wanted to bring you on to show them that there's still greatness, that they are able to achieve, anything that they want to set their mind to because you started off at one place and the struggle wasn't the journey wasn't easy, but now you're at a completely different place than you was years ago when you were 17 years old. So we're
Mhm.
just gonna jump right into it. LaToya, can you start off just kind of tell us your journey? How was it being a single mother? Because you was in high school, right? At the time you got pregnant.
Yes, I was a senior in high school, and well, short he was born prematurely. So I would have been out of school by the time that I had him, but he was born early. So I was actually 17 years old, and I was right in my senior year of high school. I almost missed graduation walking across the stage because I had him exactly a week before graduation. I almost didn't get cleared by um my doctor to walk across the stage because he was born early. I was like on complete bed rest because they were trying to stop the contractions, but my son was determined to come into this world, and he was like, I am coming, ready or not, here I come. So I was actually 17 when I had him in my senior year of high school. So shortly after I had him, I graduated from high school and then turned 18. Yeah, so I was very scared. I was very nervous. I thought my life was doomed. I thought my life was over. And I pretty much was just like, oh gosh, what am I going to do with a kid? Like my life is over. But actually having him gave me the determination and the drive to keep going forward because I wanted him to know, hey, just because your mom was a teen mom and she struggled, raising you by herself, that doesn't mean that story or that part of your life has to hinder you. So going forward, I just tried to pour into him that, hey, you can be anything that you want to be. You can do whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter where you come from or who your parents are, what your story is. So he doesn't know the struggle, he just knows he had a great life growing up,
Mhm.
so going from being in school, having to go to night school, work full time in the day,
So
going
wait a
to
minute, before you go further, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you this. Okay, so like what was okay? we live in a society where there's a lot of, teen moms and single mom. Were you a single mom at that time? Because that's very important. Because did you have a good support system from both sides, or did you have a good support system just from your side? What made it challenging being a single mother? Well, if you were a single mother.
I was a single mom. I had a great support system from both sides. His dad's parents, dad's family, and my family, they were awesome and amazing. You know, they would get him whenever I needed him to. I mean, whenever I needed them to, and they would, take him after when I needed to go to school at night or whatever, things like that. And I also had friends, really close friends that were in my community that helped me out, that helped look after him and things like that. So when I say single, I mean single as in not married. I had a village. It definitely takes a village, So much credit goes to everybody that, was surrounded by me, friends, family. I even had coworkers that were just so phenomenal, because and also when people see that you're trying to do better with your life, people are more willing to help you. So because people saw that I was actually trying, that I was trying to go to school, work full time and raise him, people were so helpful in trying to help me out because I was trying to do things to better myself. But if you just sit around, oh, woe is me, that, can't anything good happen to me because I was a teen mom and things like that. I always had the positive mindset. I contribute that to my Christian faith background. I was born and raised Southern Baptist, and my parents, they always put the word of God in me, like, hey, you're a child of God. It doesn't matter what you did, he forgives you of your sins if you repented, and you can move forward from that. And that's what I did. I didn't play the victim in the situation. I learned how to remove that victim mentality, and I became a victor. And I just took hold of that whole situation, and people around me rallied around me because they saw that I was trying to do better for myself and actually make something of myself instead of getting down into a ball. Oh, okay, well, I was a teen mom and I'm just gonna be a part of the system and live off of welfare and food stamps, and no offense to anybody who uses it, because it's there for a reason, but right. I didn't make that my end goal and my end point in life, is what I'm saying.
So you graduated from high school or whatever, and once you graduated from high school, did you choose to go to college?
Yes, but I did not go off to college like I planned, because, with me having him, I decided, hey, I wanted to stay around and kind of, take care of my son. I didn't want to dump him off on my parents. I stayed around and I took core classes for my degree here at the local community college in my town. And then I later, a few years later, moved to Atlanta to pursue the rest of my degree. And then when I got there, instead of going to school, I partied. But I still got that degree.
So did your son go with you when you went
to
Atlanta?
He did.
He did. Okay. So for a lot of parents that feel like, okay, I can't do this, how do I do this? How did you balance going, like when you moved to Atlanta, did you have a support? Like, did you have family up there, or was it just you and your kid? And how did you manage to make that work, going to school, working, going to college, and in college? And like, how did you make that work, considering the fact that you didn't have any family there? Because a lot of moms feel like, well, I have to stay in this city because I don't have a support system. So they are scared to take that leap of faith to move to a better city to be able to better themselves.
I would say this is something that you have to totally pray on and say, hey, God, is this move for me? Is this something that's for me? I did not have family there, but I did have one of my close girlfriends that lived in the town. So she was there to kind of show me around and show me the different places, daycares and things like that. So, I looked around at different daycares and, different preschools, because he was around 3. So they go to preschool at that age. So I looked around at different preschools, home daycares, and stuff like that. And just getting to know, I actually found this home daycare, and it was the owners, they were phenomenal. Like they were phenomenal. They were like family to me. They looked after my son so much. And he's still to this day, even though he was a little kid then, he's 3 years old, he still remembers it to this day. He's like, I wonder what Miss Erica's up to. And I'm like, I have no idea. I lost contact with her because she moved back to her home city. But I'm pretty sure that, wherever she is out there, I would love to reconnect with her because she was phenomenal. But I would just say step out on faith, and make sure you pray before you do it, because a lot of people, you need to move if God is telling you to move on something, you need to do it then. Don't act on it first, move on it first, and then say, oh, well, try and pray about it after, I would
So
say.
let me ask you this question. I know you said when you moved to Atlanta and you was in school and working. So okay, and I'm just asking these questions for single mothers out there. Like, okay, if you dropped your kid off at, when you went to work from 8 to 5, who would watch your child when you had to go to class at night? Or how did that work? What kind of system did you have in place for that?
So Googling. Googling, because well, when I went to work in the daytime, he was preschool age, so he went to preschool. So
Okay.
when I was at work during the day, he would be in preschool, and then at night when I would go to classes, one of my co-workers turned her friends, and she's still one of my good friends to this day. She would watch him at night for me when I would go to school, you know. So she was really good at that, and that's who watched him at night for me when I would go to school.
And it's so amazing to see that you was determined to make it, because with a lot of single mothers, they feel like they're stuck. They don't know how can they get to the next level, and then they go through different insecurities or whatever. Did you ever have any resentment towards the father? Because we have a lot of single mothers who have resentment towards the father, because it didn't work, or because you was handling most of the responsibility. Was there any resentment and it wasn't?
You have to like, again, like I said earlier, you have to remove that victim mentality that is, because in all actuality, even if the father is not there, if he's not in his life, you made the choice to have sex unprotected, and consequences comes from that. So you got to either think, hey, there might be a possibility that I'll have to raise this child on my own, and you can't blame anyone else. You just have to pick up the pieces and do what you need to do in order to bring everything full circle and bring it together. Yes, it's not fair, but that's not up to you. If you want to come out of that, you have to remove the victim mentality that somebody did you wrong and resenting someone else, and do something about it yourself. Because as long as you have that victim mentality or resent someone, you will remain stuck in that place. You will remain stuck in that mindset. Well, I could have did this if such and such XYZ. No. No one in this world owes you anything. Not a single person. If you want something bad enough, you will make it happen.
You're absolutely right. Because we have a lot of single mothers that, may have some type of resentment towards the father, have these high expectations. But sometimes you just, like you said, you have to kind of like accept the situation for what it is. And when I had my daughter too, also, I was a single parent. But like you said, and something you said was a village and a community. Those was two words that you said. And it's very important, to have a village or family or friends, or people you may go to church with, because you're going to need that support system. And without that support system, it makes it that much more harder. But I was determined as a single mother when I had my daughter. I think I was like 20 or 21 or whatever, and her father wasn't in her life and didn't do anything for her. But I was determined. I was like, you know what, I'm not going to allow myself to fall into the victim role. So I picked up my bag and I decided, like, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do what it takes, I'm going to do what I need to do in order to succeed as a mother. Like, I'm not going to it was like one of those things, like, I refused to allow myself to be like the baby mama, baby daddy drama. Like, you curse me out, I curse you out, we can are like, no, like immediately I was like, you know what? I just saw this around me, and this was something that I was not going to allow myself to fall into, point blank, period. And so it's one of those things you have to make a decision, say, you know what? I'm not going to allow myself to fall into this situation. And I think with a lot of mothers, they feel like, well, they want to be with the child, father, which I understand it. But in some cases, if it's not meant, you got to pick up your bag. You got to accept the situation for what it's for. And you got to move forward. You got to move forward because destiny is waiting for you. And you got to be willing to take those steps because the steps don't come to you,
Yep, you are absolutely right. You are absolutely right.
So let me ask you a question. Did there ever come a point, and this is just a question because I hear a lot of single moms say that they go through this little insecurity state where they feel like, well, I have a kid, I have 1 kid, 2 kids, 3 kids, no one will ever want me. Did you ever face that, come to that place of feeling insecure as a single mother, like, would somebody ever want me, again?
I did not. I actually did not. I hear that talk a lot, with people, and you mostly see it with people who have multiple kids, and probably because I only had 1 kid, I never faced that, but I never went through that insecurity. I didn't.
Me either, because I always saw, women with 2 or 3, 4 kids, they would have the best men. So I'm like, so I'm like, I would tell people, because you got 2 or 3 kids, like, girl, them be the ones that be having the, best, husbands or boyfriends or whatever. So yeah, I never dealt with that insecurity, but a lot of single mother, they feel like, well, I had this kid, like no one who would want me or whatever. But yeah, people feel like that.
Yeah, I never had that feeling. Thank God I never, I went through that phase. And especially now that my kid is an adult, it's like, well, I already got somebody, but if I didn't, I probably wouldn't feel like that because my kid is an adult, so he doesn't have to be taken care of. I mean, well, he does. Let me say that. Let me take that back. He does, but meaning I don't have to watch over him. I don't need a babysitter. We can do things, is what I mean.
Okay, so what is some advice you would give another single mother who's struggling, feeling like, like this is her end? What's something that you can tell her? Like, how did you, and what you briefly said in the beginning, can you kind of just like let them know how you turned your pain into purpose?
I turned my pain into my purpose. Well, here was my pain right here. I was a single teen mom at that, I felt like my life was over. But actually my pain birthed something that God was using my story to help somebody else. You never know it. And you always feel like, well, for me, I was trying to hide from it, like, oh, God can't use me. I'm a broken vessel, I'm just a teen mom. He can't use me. But that same hurt that I experienced, or the same pain that I went through as being a single mom, is, things that's about me that, people find relatable and feel like that, hey, you know what, I see her doing it, I can do it too. So that's one of the things, like, you don't understand it when you're in it, but when you come out of it, you see this wasn't for me. And a lot of times, that's another thing women have to realize. Your pain and your struggles at that moment, it doesn't feel good, but what you're going through is to help somebody else get on the other side. It's to help somebody else. It is not for you. Even your purpose in life is not for you. That's why some people who wants to hide from their purpose, and like, oh, well, God, that's not what I want to do. It's not what you want to do. It's to help somebody else. You might not want to. Hey, me reliving what I went through, I was kind of, like ashamed of it. Now I'll shout it to the rooftop. Yes, I was a teen mom, because you know what? my pain helped somebody else. It helped girls that, you know what? Oh my gosh, thank you so much for sharing your story. Like I felt the same way. No, no, no. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be ashamed of it, because you're going to help somebody else years down the line and you don't even know it. Years down the line. It's not 2 years, it's not 3 years, and it may not be that you're on a huge platform. It's just having a conversation with somebody in a nail salon or in a hair salon, maybe in the grocery store. Maybe one day you get to help a young woman buy her groceries when she couldn't buy her groceries, and you can tell her, hey, I've been in your place, I've been in your shoes, and so that's why I'm helping you out. So you have to understand that where you are now doesn't define where you're going to go, and it doesn't define who you're going to help out along the way, because you will change lives with your story and with your purpose. So just understand that, but don't give up. I will also tell them, don't give up and just keep on pushing, because sometimes it feels like everything in life is coming against you, but against that, you just got to keep on pushing. You might not get it right after the 7th time, but hey, you got to keep on trying the 8th, the 9th, the 10th, and the 11th time. Hey, it is what it is. It's life. There are going to be things that knock you down and knock you all the way down, but you just got to keep going.
So what is your purpose now? What would you say your purpose is right now?
I would say at this very moment, my purpose is just doing whatever God calls me to do. And some days he even called me, I mean, not call me on the phone, but just give me something. Hey, you need to text such and such and tell them good morning. And somebody say, oh man, I was having a bad day. That really helped me out. Whatever. Just whatever it is that God tells me to do, I'm for it. But right now, I personally, what I do in every day, hey, I want to let women know that you can live a wonderful, lovely life no matter who and what you are and where you came from. It doesn't matter. I just want to inspire women. That's
What's
it.
your end goal? What's your end goal? Just say 5 years from now. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
I want to be at 5 years from now. I want to be a stay-at-home mom with a nanny and a housekeeper. I don't have to do none of that. That's my end goal.
Look, you know what? It's so crazy you said a nanny, because every time I be like, when I have another child, I'm like, I'm gonna have a nanny. And people always give me this like, face, like a nanny. I'm like, it's the same thing as taking your kid to the daycare, but only you have someone in the house that you can put cameras in, you can watch. Like, what's wrong with a nanny?
Yes.
So yes.
I want a nanny and a housekeeper. That way I can take care of my husband. Yes.
You're gonna need both of them too, girl.
I know.
You're gonna need both of them.
Exactly, because I'm claiming it. My husband gonna be a millionaire, so
speak it, girl. Speak it.
Yes, he's gonna be a millionaire. So we're gonna need a nanny. We're gonna be able to afford a nanny and a housekeeper, to keep up with those kids.
How many more kids do you want to have?
Well, I've always wanted a large family, so I wanted 5 kids. I only got 1, so I got a long way to go.
Jesus. You got a long way to go.
I got a long way to go. I got to get to work.
Oh, child. Once you start, it ain't gonna be no problem.
Yeah, that's what my mom said. She's like, because both of my parents come from large families, and my fiance, his family comes from a large family. I mean, his parents come from a large family. So my mom says, yeah, y'all got it all the way around. So, somebody got to have a whole bunch of kids. And I was like, well, I don't mind it being me as long as I have a nanny and a
girl, you're gonna need them with the 5 kids. I got 1 and I'm like, Lord have mercy. So let's before we jump off, let's talk a little bit about your fashion and blogging, because I remember you told me what led you into like fashion and stuff like that was when you was a teen mom, not being able to have the money to be able to buy all the pieces, so you learned how to bargain shop and still be able to look nice. So let's talk a little bit about that. How were you able to do that? Give advice to another single mother that may, because I hear a lot of single moms that be like, well, once they get their kids some clothes, they don't really have a lot of money, to get themselves something. So can you give them a little input as how they can the child can look nice, you can look nice, with cute pieces. What did you do?
Well, that's how my blog was birthed. And it's my bargain shopping started, of course, when my son was younger. I always loved cute clothes and nice clothes or whatever. And I didn't feel like, you know, I had to suffer. My wardrobe had to suffer just because I was you know, a single mama or, a teen mom or whatever. So I would go to places like Ross. Well, they didn't have Ross here back when I was doing all that, but they had Ross in Atlanta. But I would go to TJ Maxx, Ross, Marshalls, things like that, or even Dillard's and stuff like that, department stores. And I would go to the clearance section and I would go and I would find things that's on clearance, that's on sale, and I would put it together and I would make a banging outfit. Well, for the longest time, I would always get women to approach me and say, "Oh, that's cute. Where'd you get it from?" And I would tell them, "Girl, I got this from Target for $5.99 or $3 or $2." And I was like, "Really? I can't never find cute stuff like that." So that's how my blog was birthed, because I wanted to show women you can find these cute stuff, these cute clothes and stuff like that. And I wanted to show them where you can get it from. You can look nice without having to spend a whole $200-$300 on an outfit, So I just wanted to show women you can look lovely too in an affordable manner. So any woman, when you're going to find clothes for your kids, hey, go look on the clearance rack for yourself and see what you can find. It doesn't have to, you can find, I promise you, I can go right now into Wally World and Walmart and go find me a whole outfit for under $20, and it's gonna look banging. Yes. But you just got to have that mind. You got to have that imagination that, to think, oh, okay, because it's not about what you wear, it's about how you wear it. Because I can wear a $5 shirt and make that mug look like it's a $600 shirt. Sure can. Ask me how much this shirt I got on costs.
Girl, how much it costs? Because I'm nosy.
It costs $9.99. New York and Company, got it on clearance. Yes. and that's what I would do. I normally shop at the clearance first. I go and see what I can find in the clearance. And I also shop off season. Say like it's summer right now. I would shop for right now. You can go in the stores and go find the winter stuff, but buy timeless pieces like white shirts, denim, jeans, stuff that doesn't go out of style. And that's don't buy trendy clothes.
Oh, girl, you just said something. Yes.
And not to knock anybody who wears trendy clothes or whatever, but trendy clothes, they come in and out of style as fast as they come on trend. So buy stuff that's timeless. That way, you can dress it any kind of way. I've had pieces that I want to say this shirt right here, I probably have had for 2 years, and hey, it's still on point because I like to buy stuff that's not trendy, that's, timeless, and build your wardrobe that way. Buy stuff that's on clearance, buy stuff that's timeless, and that way you have it and your wardrobe grows. And that's why when a lot of people say, "You have so many clothes," because I buy stuff when it's on sale, when it's on clearance, and I buy timeless pieces that I can wear from year to year, not just season to season,
And it's important too, because as mothers, with a lot of mothers, they're already working hard to take care of their kids, to take care of their household. And so when you step out with your kid, you want to look good. You don't want your kid looking good and you looking bad. You guys are like a package deal. So you want to look good together. And something I want to piggyback and say is that when you was talking about bargaining, something that I learned was that when you say you bought stuff off season and stuff like that, like when you have a kid, it's best to go ahead, like if the summer is here, right? It's don't wait till the summertime to buy you and your child clothes in that season. Go ahead and get your child clothes ahead of season. And so when the summertime comes, you can just go ahead and grab $10 here, $20 there, and you can build your wardrobe. So it's really important, like if you're looking for tips, to go ahead and get your clothes ahead of season. Like the kid clothes a season before. You go ahead and get the child, like it's fall now, spring now. So you go ahead and get your kids summer clothes now. And so when summertime come, you can go ahead and just be shopping for you rather than trying to get your kids summer clothes and then you trying to get summer clothes and then somebody's gonna fall by the wayside and it's just not gonna happen. So it's always good to shop in advance. And also too, I'm a thrifty shopper. So you guys like the thrift
Well,
store.
girl, where you go to thrift around here? Because you have to
Girl,
let
I
me
be
know.
I go to the American thrift store, the one on Highway 90. They always got great pieces. That's the only one that I go to that I'm like always in luck. Like if you need any color like dress pants, like the one that's on Highway 90, it always have everything, like
Oh,
everything.
okay.
I'm not good with the Salvation Army. Like the Salvation Army, they're a little bit high. I'm like, they're a little high. But the American thrift store, the one that's on Highway 90, is like always on point, and especially with blazers. Like if you like a nice blazer, cute, different colors, like girl, go there. They be like $3 and $4 for a nice blazer. I'm like certain stuff I'm just not paying a lot of money for. And then also too, like when you was talking about trends, is that's something that's very important. It's okay like to pick up a trendy piece here and there, but like she said, if you want to build your wardrobe, it's best to get stuff that's timeless pieces, stuff that's not always just like the it outfit, and you can wear it for years and years. And that's the same thing you said. People like, you have so many clothes. I'm like, girl, I'd have had this like 3-4 years, because I try not to follow trends. Now I do have some trendy pieces, but I don't make that my whole wardrobe. I try to get stuff that I know that's gonna last me the next 2, 3, 4 years.
Yeah, that is definitely true. Yes, you can never go wrong with timeless pieces.
So thank you for coming on. So before we leave, LaToya, is there anything that you would like to share, and just let another single mother know, a few words of encouragement that can keep them moving forward from this day forward?
I would say, don't give up. Don't give up. There will be things that will try to tear you down, things that will break you, people that will try to break you, people that will betray you, people that will betray your trust, everything, people that will use you, but don't give up. Keep pushing forward. Keep your faith in God. Remember to stay praying for your children. Pray for your kids. Let me tell you, prayer. That's how my son is in college right now. Prayer, because I almost killed him. I'm telling you, prayer. Please don't give up on your children. Just continue to pray for them. Go in their rooms at night, pray over them. You don't have to wake them up. Just stand there over them. Hold your hand above them and pray over them. Pray for them daily before they go to school. Just stay prayed up and don't give up. I would say that.
So let me ask you a question. If they want to find you on Instagram and just to see like your pictures as far as your fashion blog, what is your Instagram name?
My Instagram is at love, LOVE, Lee, LEE, Toya, TOYA. All one word. And that's on Instagram. That's on every platform. Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter. I think that's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys definitely check her out. She have the cutest little reels. Like they be so cute and simple.
Thank you.
So definitely check her out. Like just to get some fashion tips, like ideas. Like she show different pieces that can go together. She's real modest. She's not trendy. She always got something going on her page. You can be like, oh, this color, this outfit. So definitely just check her out. Check her out. So once again, LaToya, I just want to thank you for coming on to High Heels and Destiny and sharing your story. And I pray that your story will be a blessing to another single mother, just to show them that, you can turn your pain into purpose. And because chapter 1 started off bad, doesn't mean that chapter 2, 3, 4, and 5 have to be bad. The book always get better as you turn the page, but you have to write the book out.
Amen. Amen.
So you guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in to High Heels and Destiny. You guys have a great day. Thank you for coming on.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye, girl.